Hi everyone, welcome back to Mineral City TV. I'm your host Raymond Hall. We're in Building A for the first time so far in our presentations here. We're in front of room 13A with Allen's Quality Minerals with owner Alan Benson. Really one of the hardest working guys in the business. He's got a website, he's got eBay, and you'll see him in shows from one side of the country to the other. He's got some new finds to show us. We're going to go and talk to him.
Hey,
Alan,
how's it going?
good to see you, as always. So tell us a little bit about you and Allen's Quality Minerals.
Well, I'll give you a quick recap here. I started collecting minerals when I was about 8 years old, and from there on, I joined a local club back in Pennsylvania. I'm from New Jersey originally, and I started Allen's Quality Minerals when I was 11.
Impressive.
So I've been doing shows on the East Coast officially as a business since I was 14 years old, and my wife, after we met in college, we joined together in the business. She was an occupational therapist. I needed more help, and she was willing to help me out. Her name's Elise, and she's been very helpful through all this, and actually has brought a lot of organization and a lot of know-how into the business from many different
Two is always better than one.
For sure. Yep.
All right, so we've got a couple new finds from China you want to show us, and then a couple other special things, but let's start with the China case in back here with this crazy new Barite Fluorite find. I'm actually going to sneak on this side so I don't block the view of the pretty rocks.
Okay, so mid to late spring of last year, 2023, at the Jiafang mine, they've discovered these wonderful golden barites on green fluorite. There was a find of these actually made around 20 years ago when I first started coming to Tucson. This is actually my 21st year coming. We'll show you a couple of the nicer pieces from this find. There was a couple different varieties in the different pockets found at this mine. Here you can see the angled crystals on the green fluorite. Beautiful golden color.
The contrast in color is really
The contrast in color is
yeah,
great, and it sits nicely against the green fluorite background. And that pocket, as you can see, the crystal structure is quite different from this pocket here, which was, in my theory, they were pretty close given the quality, but the structure of the crystal, as you can see, is different. This is being more rectangular, and that being more pointed.
They're just absolutely stunning for sure. And this was last year these were found?
These were found probably about May to June of last year of 2023. But as you can see, the variety, the luster on these are quite nice. The transparency in some of the barites, some of the finest I've seen from the Jiafang mine.
And the sparkle, you can see it from out in the hallway.
Quite nice. Moving along
here. There's another find we're going to talk about, but first, I want to talk about these, because right now one of the hottest items around is the Okaru Fluorites, and there's no more desirable piece from Okaru than the Polish Prodigy Pocket, and wow, I don't think I've ever seen this many in one place before.
So, as many of you may or may not know, dating back to 2010, this pocket was discovered. Tomek had quite a few of these back a few years ago, and I just want to pick one up to show you guys the interesting lighting and zoning that these have to the crystals. As you can see, the cubic structure within had made this pocket quite unique.
Instantly recognizable.
See, we backlight it there a little bit.
Yeah, the camera's trying, but it's not doing a great job for sure.
There we go.
That's not bad there.
That shows it a little bit better there.
So yeah, those are just stunning. Congratulations on having just a great spread of those. All right, we're going to move along over here to another new Chinese find. I'm going to sneak in front of the case here, and let's talk about these beautiful calcites.
So these are quite unique. This find was made actually around 2 years ago now. I'll grab one out of here, out of the back. This is one of my favorite that I acquired from the find. They call them Benz Calcites. Originally, this find came into question whether the pyrites may have been attached to the matrix on the calcite. But actually, in this case, it's an epitaxial growth. Similar to the skunk amethyst from Brazil and Uruguay. This find was made again about 2 years ago at Daae mine in Hubei province in China. Quite unique structure on these.
And clearly obvious why they're called Benz Calcites.
As you can see, the structure.
Those are lovely. Merrick's going to give us a little tour of a couple pieces here. Fantastic display. Right next to that case is a pretty impressive case full of fluorites, and I think you should talk about a couple of these.
So this year we decided, actually it was Elisa's idea, to put one full case of worldwide fluorites together. We had acquired this large specimen of fluorite from
Let's open this
the
up
Joe
so we can get in
Larkin's
there.
quarry last year. One of the largest to come out of the quarry to date. It's got quite unique zoning on it with the green edges and the purple and blue centers to the crystals.
I certainly don't think I've seen a bigger one.
By hand, you can see the size of the specimen, roughly 1.5 to 2 feet across.
What's it weigh? Do you know?
It's pretty heavy, maybe around 80 or 90 pounds, that piece.
It's definitely a beast.
Moving up in the case here, I was lucky enough recently to acquire some old clay center fluorites, some on Celestine and some with calcite associations. These came out in the pocket in the 2005 to 2007 timeframe. Classics for the locality. These fluoresce quite nicely under ultraviolet light. Some of them even have quite fine zoning within. This specimen to this left-hand side here, as you can see, has nice calcite associations with it as well.
Definitely getting harder and harder to find this material as well on the market. They're getting bought up by collectors really quickly. So those are beautiful, but I see a bigger one I think you should show us.
We have a couple.
Let's go on in here.
We have a couple teasers here for you guys. A couple special pieces from that particular find. This one here is quite a nice large crystal with the Celestine. Again, from the famous find around 20 years ago at Clay Center, just short of 20 years ago.
Beautiful.
Really nice
that
fluorite
big
on
crystal
celestite.
perched right on
and
top.
again, they do fluoresce quite nicely. We have one larger plate I'm going to grab now. This one has a very large crystal with excellent luster to it and quite a fine phantom on the interior of the crystal.
And yeah, for those that aren't familiar, the fluorescence under these is really like no other. It's very unique and strong reaction under long wave UV. So those are just beautiful.
And then one last surprise we have for you here is an old classic from Brazil. Beautiful rose quartz, sharp crystals. Quite a few of these came out in the 60s and 70s. Just a classic that you don't see on the market as much today.
And that's a fantastic example. The color and saturation is top for sure. Great
Appreciate that,
pieces.
Ray.
Alan, I want to thank you for joining us. Great looking through the room and seeing you again. Everyone, we'll see you next time on Mineral City TV. Thanks a lot.